Martina was 20 years old and had a big dream, one that makes your eyes shine even on the grayest days. She wanted to become a doctor. It wasn't just a wish, it was a promise she had made to herself the day she, at 12, saw her father struggling in the hospital without being able to afford the best care. She had understood that knowledge could be a powerful weapon, and she wanted to wield it to make a difference. But that dream came at a high price. University wasn't free, and her family wasn't exactly rolling in money. Her mother worked in a small soup kitchen, and her father hadn't managed to save anything for her future. Martina had never complained. She had started working in high school, giving private lessons, delivering pizzas, serving in bars on weekends. She slept little, she studied all the time, but she never gave up. One afternoon, as she was rushing out to work a shift at a bakery, the lady on the third floor stopped her. Her name was Anna. She was an elegant woman, always in a hurry, with 2 phones in her hand and her heels ringing like clocks in the entrance hall of the building. Before continuing, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any of our stories. Hi, Martina. Wait a minute. I need a favor. Martina stopped, panting. What's going on, Mrs. Anna? I have a very important meeting tomorrow. My babysitter quit yesterday and I don't know who to leave David with. It's just for a few hours, really. You're so good and reliable. Could you help me? I'll pay you well. The girl hesitated for a moment. She had never been a babysitter, but she knew the child. A sweet little face, blonde hair, and particularly quiet. And then, she said to herself, while her heart was doing some calculations, if he sleeps, I'll study. It couldn't be better. Okay, ma'am, I accept. The next day, at 8 in the morning, Martina rang the doorbell with a satchel full of books under her arm. Elena opened it by pulling up her shirt sleeve and quickly explained everything to her. The milk in the fridge, the diapers in the second drawer, the toys scattered everywhere. Davide, in his pajamas with a stuffed animal in his hand, watched Martina with curiosity. When the door closed, the silence was almost surreal. David stared at her and she lowered herself to his level. Hi, champ. Shall we play a little? He didn't answer but gave her the stuffed animal. From there, everything was natural. They played, laughed, kept each other company. After an hour, David collapsed on the couch and fell asleep. Martina sat down at the kitchen table and began to study with a concentration she hadn't felt in weeks. No noise, no customers, nothing to bring or to put away. Just her, the silence, and her books. The days became weeks. Anna, busier and busier, began to ask Martina for help even in the afternoon, in the evening. Davide was happy with her. He looked for her, called her. When Martina arrived, he ran toward her with his arms wide open. When she left, he clung to her legs and cried. Martina began to feel something she had not expected, a bond, a deep and spontaneous affection. He was not just a child, he was Davide. He held her fingers when she slept. He took refuge in her embrace when he had a bad dream. Anna, on the contrary, seemed more and more distant. She came back late, greeted him with a kiss on the head, then locked herself in her room on the phone. Sometimes she scolded him for insignificant things. She didn't even know what he liked to eat anymore. One day, when Anna came home, she found David with his arms crossed and a long face. "What's the matter, love?" she asked, with the forced tone of someone who wants to be affectionate but is elsewhere in his mind. David didn't answer. Then he said in a thin voice, "I want to be alone with Martina." Anna's eyes widened. She looked at the child, then at Martina, as if it were the first time she was really seeing her. "What?" she said, incredulous. "I want to be with her. You always scream. She cuddles me." Martina felt frozen. She immediately tried to lighten the situation. "He's just tired, Mrs. Anna. We played a lot today." But the seed had been planted, and that same evening Anna called her. "Martina, you don't have to come tomorrow. I found another solution." Her tone was cold, definitive. She didn't leave room for explanations. Martina returned to her routine of 1,000 jobs and sleepless nights, but she felt an emptiness. It wasn't just for the lost money, it was for Davide. Every now and then she passed by Anna's house and wondered if she was okay, if she still ate her favorite cookies, if she slept peacefully without her fairy tales. A month later, one rainy evening while she was coming back from a lesson, she heard a voice behind her. It was Anna. She had a tired face and shiny eyes. Under the umbrella, she was holding Davide's hand tightly, and as soon as he saw her, he freed himself and ran towards her. "Martina, I'm sorry," Anna said, her voice breaking. "You're right. I wasn't listening to him anymore. I wasn't looking at him anymore, and he only talked about you. Every day. I understood that I can't be a mother just with words. If you want to come back, not just as a babysitter, I would like you to be part of his life and ours." Martina looked at her, and then she looked at Davide, who was holding on to her jacket like he used to, and she understood. She understood that sometimes life presents you with something unexpected, that not everything can be planned, studied, organized. Sometimes love comes from where you don't look for it. She accepted, happy to fill the void she felt without that child. The years passed slowly, between full days and sleepless nights. Martina, with determination and courage, managed to complete her studies. She graduated with top marks, and behind that achievement were entire nights spent with an open book on her knees and David sleeping next to her after listening to one of his fairy tales told in a low voice. Each word studied had a different flavor, that of hope, of the future, but also of the unexpected affection that child had given her. Anna, in the meantime, had become aware of her mistakes. She had left the stressful job that kept her away from home and reinvented herself, choosing something that would allow her to be present in her son's life. She began to really know him, to listen to him, to rediscover that bond that she thought was lost. Thanks to Martina and to the courage that young girl had had in entering their life without asking for anything in return, Anna had changed too. And the jealousy that she had initially felt had transformed into deep gratitude, into sincere affection for that girl who had taught her something very important. Did you like this story? Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching the video till the end, and see you next story.